So I went and bought a new webcam. I figured I was going to make another video, and if I was going to do that, I wasn't going to put you guys through that terrible quality again. So first off, I want to thank everyone again for the incredible amount of support that came my way after that video that I made, and I appreciate the fact that people shared their own struggles with me and trusted me enough with that information. Uh, that says a lot, about your comfort zone with me. So I really appreciate that. It went a long way, and it really helped me to achieve a much better mood and state of mind, and just positioning with depression and where I was a few days ago. So what this has got me really thinking about is how I can repay the favor, because it went so far with me in kind of helping me get my gears back, that I really want to share that with everyone. I think it would be extremely selfish not to, considering that it works so well for me to share and have that experience with you guys. So I want to find a way that we can all start sharing together. I don't think that we need to hide anymore. I think with the way things are these days, it's pretty common knowledge that probably 4 to 5 people are dealing with anxiety or depression and are suffering alone for the most part. And I find it unacceptable that we do suffer alone. I don't think that that needs to be that way, and I think that people are more accepting than we like to believe. And I think that we would support each other a lot more than maybe we believe as well. So let's make that happen. We need to start sharing. So what I want to do is I want to, as an example, the ice bucket challenge. That worked really well, like extremely well, for a common cause, to raise awareness and to get people on board together. So as an example, I want to do something very similar to that, with anxiety, depression, or just any mental illness in general. So what I'm gonna do, towards the end of this video, I'm going to state what I have, when it started, how it started, one of the contributing factors to what triggers my condition, and how I cope with it, how I get through the day, what I do to make it through. So I think that if we can do that, and we can make response videos, tag our friends and family, and then get them to make response videos, and we can all kind of just share our own personal experiences with what we deal with, that we could start a social coping process together, and we can all start healing together, and we can support each other, talk with each other about it, and not have to do this alone anymore. So I'll start off by saying, obviously, I do suffer from anxiety and depression. I have for a long time. So it started roughly when I was about 15 years of age. And the reason it started, it's hard to say, but if I had to guess, I would say it was probably because I let a lot of things build up. And I never really talked to people about anything, even back then. And I suppressed really anything I was going through, because I was too busy trying to be happy and probably trying to be popular in high school or something like that. So when it hit me like a bag of bricks to the face, and I was knocked out for quite a while. It took me a while to kind of get my footing back, and get my bearings back. I couldn't even go outside. I was trapped to a couch thinking I was dying. I don't know what I thought I had, but I didn't know it was anxiety. I didn't realize the severity of the symptoms that you can have from it. Now thank God it hasn't been that bad since, but that doesn't mean the suffering has been any better. So once I recovered or whatnot, I kind of just swept it under the rug. Tried not to talk about it too much, didn't really tell anyone. I was still suffering, and 10 years later, here we are. And all I managed to achieve was getting worse, and getting to the point where I had to make a video just to try something new to cope with it. Now, I'm extremely grateful I did that because, it worked. And it really only worked because of you guys. The support and, just the feedback I got was ultimately why I was successful in starting to feel better. I mean, if I didn't get the same response, it could have probably got worse. But, my faith in humanity is ultimately restored. So, touche, guys. You're all a bunch of decent human beings, and that's great to know. Now, one of the contributing factors to, my depression and so forth would probably be self-worth. I have an extremely hard time with self-worth. On the surface, I can be fairly confident sometimes and whatnot and come off a certain way, but deep inside, I got demons I battle with every day. I have a hard time feeling worthy of almost every scenario or situation I put myself in, whether it comes to being a father or dealing with women or dealing with work or I just anything really. I mean, I have to try extremely hard to believe in myself. So when you find ways to not feel worth it, you have a hard time being good at anything. And I mean, especially, being a father, not feeling like you maybe provide the right life or, make enough money to give them the right life or, whatever it may be, that is extremely hard for me to deal with. And I still don't really know how to deal with it, but every day I just push forward and try to do a little better and to make sure that I'm not doing anything that's kind of counterproductive, to the way I'm feeling in that manner. So I think ultimately I'm doing fine, but I convince myself I'm not, and there's days that you're not going to be able to convince me that I'm not. So that's probably my contributing factor. Self-worth. That's the one for me. Now, coping. How I cope. Well, prior to this, I think my coping mechanism was denial. I highly recommend you don't try that one. It doesn't work very well. You just kind of let it build up, build up, build up, and then you'll end up having to make a video like me and sounding super depressed and so forth. So don't do that. But since I started coming out with all this stuff, my new coping mechanism is sharing. Sharing is good. Sharing works, and that's what we're going to try to achieve here is getting everyone else on board with that. So just if you can please make a response video to this if you're tagged and just follow the steps I asked on what you suffer from, how it started, when it started, and the contributing factor to what triggers you and how you cope with it. And if we can all get sharing, we can learn new ways to cope, new ways to share, new ways to deal, and ultimately look out for one another and potentially live in a happier world. Because at the end of the day, happiness is a hell of a thing, and if I can help you be a little happier every day, then that's what I want to do. Thanks, guys.